Hello there, everyone. It's your girl Barbie J here, and we are in a new season of All the Queen's Men. Season 3 is up, and I'm gonna tell you, it's probably just about as terrible as season 2. But I'm gonna see. I'm behind right now. There's already been 4 episodes, and I'm putting up this first one. But I know there was supposed to be new producers and directors and people. He was getting new writers for this. I thought it was for season 3. So we shall see. I'm going to keep reviewing it until the end, and maybe the new writers are coming at the end of it, but we shall see. So right now it's All the Queen's Men, season 3, episode 1, Deep Cover. So first, I'm going to give you a quick recap of the last episode, how we left off in season 2. And then I'm going to give you the synopsis for this episode. And then I'll give my recap review. Okay, so in season 2, episode 20 ended with Fuego going to Detective Davis to confess about all that he knows, which has been going on. Which is basically what happened in his apartment, killing his ex. We have Madam. She sent the concierge, his wife's Lotus's head in a box, and now they're enemies, and he wants Madam to go with him to Colombia to tell Lotus' father what she did. We have Doc and Babyface are in jail. Madam wants them to take care of Fuego. She set it up that they both are in there. Then there's a white undercover detective posing as a dancer named Casanova. I don't even remember what his detective name is. Anyway, I'm going to keep calling him Casanova. And he gets busted by Madam. And they found a little drive or something that he was recording everything that was going on. So he gets busted, and she had him drugged, and they took pictures of him in sexual positions that could harm his career and his personal life. I tell you, this is crazy. And now Madam is blackmailing him as well. Then we have Amp is being an a-hole, getting high and messing around with women in front of Dime to upset her. So then he took some girl in the dressing room bathroom, and was having sex with her, and he accidentally banged her head on a shower stall hook and killed her. Whew. He gets Midnight to help him, and they get caught by Dime. And it basically ended like that. But, oh wait, Blue goes home to check on her latest sex partner, who she realizes is married to the concierge brother, who is a hot-tempered dude. I forgot what his name is. And he had his guys come blasting into Blue's apartment, and they shot her, and she fell out the window. And that's how the season ended. Now, the recap for the synopsis for this episode, season 3, episode 1, Deep Cover. Dime and Midnight try to help Amp out of a jam. Doc and Babyface gang up on Fuego. Madam makes Casanova an offer, and Trouble comes up with a risky way to prove her loyalty. So it got a little interesting, but it's a Tyler Perry joint, so it's a little crazy. I'm not sure why Christian Keys allowed him to take over, but he did. So let me go through this real quick, and y'all let me know down in the comment section what you think about it. And for those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel, please take a moment right now, hit the subscribe button, then hit the like button, the thumbs up button, write a comment, and share. So, first we have Dime. She catches Midnight and Amp moving the dead woman's body after Madam told Midnight to take care of the issue on his own without even knowing what it was. He was trying to get her attention, but she was dealing with other stuff. So while Dime is so busy being nosy and bossy, Rayshawn and Trouble walk in, and they see something happening, and everyone turns and yells at them to leave. So Dime tries to reach Madam, and she doesn't answer. Midnight goes to check and see what those two who left, that would be Dime and Rayshawn, are saying basically about what they just saw. So then Dime doesn't want him to leave her alone with Amp, but her nosy ass shouldn't have even gone into their business, gotten into it at all. She's really starting to work my nerves, I'm telling y'all. So Amp and Dime start arguing, and Amp is basically pissed that Dime tried to get him killed by his aunt Madam. He told her she should have asked him about that money first before running to drop Dime. No pun intended, because her name is Dime. Sorry, y'all. So this is what made Amp start acting this way. He's been acting, breaking up with Dime and not giving a F about any of them. So Dime gets a call from that new dancer whose junk is large, and he has been feeling her, and she has been, somewhat digging him, it seems, because she even told Blue she's had an eye on him. But this time when she talks to that dancer, I can't remember what his name is. She's a bit stank with him, and hangs up after saying he won't be getting none of this, talking about her stuff. But I was like, stop playing games, Dime. So then we have Fuego and Doc and Face. They're in the jail cell together, and Fuego tells them what he told the detective and that she didn't believe him. That's Detective Davis. She didn't believe him, so he's being charged for his ex's murder. And they sitting there going, they don't believe the story either. It doesn't make any sense. So they keep telling him to shut the F up, and he keeps going on and lets them know, that this seems like a setup. And they're like, shut the F up, man. And he's like, I'm not going out like a biatch. So y'all can forget that. Like, if y'all gonna take me out, I'm gonna fight to the end. So then now we see Rayshawn in trouble outside. He wants to leave and get on a bus to go home. And Trouble keeps making him want to wait until she fixes her car and then will drive him home. So they start arguing back and forth about him leaving. And then they were also discussing what they did or did not see. Rayshawn was like, I ain't see ish. I ain't see nothing. I don't want to have nothing. And she was like, you saw that body. And all. And she's like, he said he didn't see nothing because the body was rolled up in a rug. So they don't know what was in that rug. Trouble's just assuming that's what was in the rug. So Rayshawn is like, I'm leaving, and Trouble's telling him to get in the damn car. Then Midnight comes outside and asks what they saw, and then told both of them to get back in the club. Then we have Madam and Tommy are in the car waiting for Casanova, and Madam's phone is ringing. It's Dime, but Madam doesn't answer. Then Casanova gets into the car and tells Madam that he can't do this with her and jeopardize his career. So then she makes him an offer to work for her. She needs someone on the inside she can trust. And she says she could pay him like 3 times what he's making. She said, what you making, about $50,000 a year? She said, I can pay you 3 times that. So he asks, can he think about it? He tells her what he knows thus far about Fuego. And she tells him to get a word to her guys to stand down. And she said to put them in separate cells before it's too late. So Casanova left to make that call. Now we see Blue getting up out of the dirt. She fell 3 stories into a pile of dirt or something like that. And some old white woman passes by and sees her, and she's like, are you all right? And she said, yes, she's fine. She tells the lady 2 times she's fine. The woman insists, I'm going to call the police. Blue gets out and shows her the gun and said, I told you I'm fine. She said, oh, you have a gun. So the lady finally gets the message, and then Blue takes her jitterbug from her. She takes the cell phone. She said, you can't take my jitterbug. She was like, lady, go on and get out of here. And then she says, nice dog. And she said, oh, thank you, and walks away. So now we're back at the club, and Trouble is making me sick. She really making me sick. She's getting on Rayshawn's case, and Midnight asked them what they saw. And Rayshawn keeps saying, I ain't seen nothing. And Midnight smacked him. Pah! And then Trouble said, I saw the body in the rug, and he did too. And Rayshawn's like, I didn't. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. And Midnight told them both they ain't seen nothing, and they better not say ish. So Trouble's talking about she down with them. You ain't got to worry. And Rayshawn is saying, look, all the stuff I've been through and all the pain and everything. He said he ain't saying nothing because he don't want no problem. He was trying to get out of there, and Trouble kept pulling him in. And that's why she was working my last nerve with that. That boy wanted to not be down with any of this, and she kept pulling him in. Then we got Madam. She gets home with Tommy, and she has a load of security. They black ops walking around inside and outside of her home with snipers on the roof for protection. They tell her that Raphael is a ghost right now, and that Lotus' father is out for revenge. And Madam seems not to be fazed by any of this, but Tommy does, and Tommy doesn't like that they're all up in there. He don't like them all up in their house. He feel like he's her security, but she's like, dude, you let the concierge into my club. You didn't even know he was there. So she don't trust Tommy to do anything. She had to get black ops. I said, damn. So now we have Blue calling Tommy, asking where's Madam, and then he tells her that Madam is in bed, and then she tells him that she got shot because she said, I got a problem, and she said she was messing around with the chick and didn't know that she was married to Pretty Boy's she called the concierge Pretty Boy's brother, and they came blasted in and got her. Then Tommy told her what's going on at Madam's house and how concierge got into Madam's office at the club. Blue feels that, the concierge has got Madam spooked right now and stuff. So now Madam is relaxing in bed, and she finally answers the Dime's call, and Dime is stuttering, telling her what happened. I hate when Dime does that. It's like, get the damn words out already and say what you have to say, Dime, So Dime lets her know that Amp killed a regular, and Madam's like, what? Like, what? She might as well did Little Rain. I like that. What? So how the hell did that happen? She wants to know. And Blue is like, I think he slammed her head against a shower hook. But she stuttered. I don't know. I think, and I know that just drives Madam crazy when she does that. So she explains what they're going to do, but it's hot outside and the body might, start to smell. So Madam agrees. So she asks Madam what to do. And she tells him to call Blue to handle it and to be careful. So Dime calls Blue, tells her Madam said to call, and says that she needs her to come to the club. Then they go back into the room with Amp, and they get into a back and forth again. Then Amp starts saying he don't need neither of them to do anything for him, and that they can leave. And Midnight told him to sit his ass down because we all in this now. And Amp sat his butt down just like he told him. But I noticed that I don't know if anybody else noticed it, that Dime said the wrong word. Dime, instead of Dime saying nobody's going anywhere until Blue gets here, she said nobody's going anywhere or something until Madam gets here. So she messed up, because then when Amp was talking, Amp said, well, Blue is on her way, so I don't need any of y'all, So I was like, yeah, she messed up on her lines. But y'all know Tyler Perry's directing, and they only get one time to get it right. They don't get a second take. It's so ridiculous. I don't know how he survives like that. But anyway, Casanova gets back to the precinct and talks to Detective Davis. He wants to know what's going on, and she tells him that they aren't talking yet. That the 3 men in the cell. And all 3 of them have the same lawyer, and that she can't hold them for much longer. And he says, I know. And he asks her, why can't she get a search warrant for the club? And she tells him because he hasn't given her what she needs. So he lets her know that he has gained their trust. I guess talking about Madams now. And he will see, what he can do. Detective Davis says she's going home. And the next thing you know, her phone rings and she says she got to go. So Blue arrives at the club and asks Dime who's the girl, in the rug that got killed. And she said, did anybody know? And then tells her to go into Madam's office and look her up in her laptop or whatever. But Dime never goes in there. I don't understand. She never goes in there. She never moves. So they don't know who the girl is. But Blue was saying, telling them they better hope and pray nobody is looking for that girl. So Blue makes some phone calls to find a way to dispose of the body in a dump. The dump is an hour away, and Blue tells Amp to help as well. And he gave her a little bit of attitude to her. I heard you. And she was like, nigga, please, we all in this ish because of you. So then they leave, and Dime is talking about following them to make sure they get there. Blue tells her to just go home. So back at the precinct, Casanova runs into another officer and tells him that Detective Davis wants him to separate the guys from the club into different cells. And so the officer is like, didn't she do that already before she left? And Casanova was like, I don't know, So then he sits at his desk and looks up some info, and then calls Madam and tells her that what he has found out, and Madam tells him to make all of that info disappear. And he was like, I can't do that. And she said, well, you know what I'm going to do. So he said he needs some more time, and she hung up on him. After I said, oh my God. So he's like, what? Then we see Fuego, Doc, and Face. They're still in the cell together, and they're fighting, and they're choking Fuego, trying to put him to sleep. And Fuego is fighting for his life. Yes, he is. Now, back at the club, they're putting that dead girl's body in the Midnight's truck, and Dime wants to follow them. And Blue is like telling her to go home, but then she goes, fine, follow them. She want to make sure they get there. Then she calls Trouble and tells her and Ray Sean she wants them back at the club. So Ray Sean said he couldn't come back because he had to get up early. And Blue said, nigga. And Trouble said, I'm driving, so we'll be there. And Ray Sean don't want to have nothing to do with it. He's just like, I want to go home. They're going to kill me. I don't want to go back there. They're going to kill me. So they hang up, and then they see the police car pull over Midnight's truck, and immediately Trouble is like, she's like, I bet you that body's in there. I bet you that body's in there, you know. So she's trying to figure out a way to show her loyalty because she's sure that that body's in that truck. Ray Sean said, I'm getting out. She said, sit your butt down, nigga. Put him back in the seat. Meanwhile, Amp is freaking out because Midnight was speeding and they got pulled over. Midnight told Amp to chill and relax. The officers asked the driver to step out. Then Detective Davis comes over. Dime calls Blue and tells her they got pulled over and it doesn't look good. They ask him to open the trunk, and Midnight says, you don't have no probable cause. And she's like, you were driving erratically, so open the trunk. And he says he doesn't have the keys. So she tells the officers to pop the trunk. He can't get it open, and he needs the keys. Detective Davis tells Midnight to give her the keys and says she'll tase him. Do you want to get tased? And he said, no, I don't. She said, then give us the key, but he still wouldn't give them to her. Then Trouble is over there. She's like thinking of what can we do? What can we do? And she said, okay, here we go. She starts up the car and she drives over and crashes it against the police car and drives off. So they all jump in their cars and chase after Trouble and Ray Sean. So Dime sees this and she tells Blue what's going on. So Blue tells her to get the body and the guys out of there. So they put everything into Blue's car and they drove off, leaving Midnight's truck there. Meanwhile, Trouble is having a blast with the police chase, and Ray Sean wants to get out. And she said, what I'm supposed to do? Freaking stop, pull over and let you out? You crazy? Trouble's like, you in it now? And she asked him if he could swim, and he says no. I guess she was going to drive off a bridge or something into some water or something. I don't know what she was thinking, but she is crazy with a capital K right now. So Trouble decides to drive through a gas station and told Ray Sean to jump out because she's going to crash it into a tank. And it's going to explode. So Ray Sean was pissed. He wanted out long time ago and didn't want to have anything to do with this. All of this was happening. He was so scared shitless, I tell you. And I don't blame him. So Trouble did just what she said, and the car exploded and the show went off just like that. So anyway, that's what happened. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this first episode. But it was crazy. Of course, it's a Tyler Perry joint. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I will see you in the next video. It's your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.